One of the best things about the Bloomington Community Orchard project is that it's a citizen-driven, community-driven. So many times programs that the city wants to initiate, they're city-initiated. You know, you have to make budget decisions, there's opportunity costs, staffing issues. This growing sort of organically from the citizens of the community, and only needing a partnership with the city for things like initially a spot, a place, a location for the original orchard. And it was an incredible opportunity that the city had to further the community towards some basic city goals we have in terms of food security for the community and empowering neighborhoods and families and the community overall to be more food secure and food healthy.
The orchard is a really important piece of local food sustainability. You know, we so take for granted that we'll always have the food we need, and in fact we rely on all kinds of systems and infrastructure to get food to the community. And the community orchard is about thinking about where food comes from and trying to localize those resources, trying to think about how we can become resilient as a community. The orchard is just one way for people to make that connection.
I remember when we were first planning the orchard, in those initial meetings, we would get together and talk about what we want this to be and how we want it to look like. And the common theme that always came up was that this is a community orchard, and it's about bringing fruit and food out into the community.
It's not insignificant to sort of acknowledge the way that site went from a sort of field of grass that was managed by, you know, the city, and has transformed into an orchard with nearly 100 fruit trees and all kinds of shrubs and really sort of beautifully integrated planting.
There's so many trees, there's so much fruit in that space, and there's so much love, and there are so many people in the community that come out to support it.
So we're at Cider Fest 2015 right now, which had more than 1,000 people say they wanted to attend. I mean, that's better than we ever could have imagined. We have people from all across the community here today, just really sharing a space and feeling like they all have ownership of it.
So every time we come, it just seems to be bigger and bigger. The plants are bigger, so there's a really noticeable way it's growing, but then also there are more and more people coming to the events and more things to engage in, like face painting and apple bobbing and drinking cider and a great potluck. So there's just more and more to be involved with.
And then slowly, as we've sort of gotten the site pretty sharp, we've been able to sort of expand, and the Bloomington Community Orchard at IU and the pocket, the neighborhood plantings, some of the educational programming are all evidence of that sort of expansion that's happening.
We have volunteers that have been there since the very beginning, but every year there's a new batch of volunteers that come in. There are some volunteers that leave, but there always seems to be a critical mass of volunteers that keep things going.
I did my internship through IU, and I've been helping out with the operations team. And so we've been starting a new group called BCOIU, and we've been working on planting trees on the IU campus and getting students involved in maintaining those and producing fruit in other areas than just the orchard here at the park.
These are fruit trees that are part of a grant, part of a fruit tree giveaway kind of grant that we have received for the last couple of years. And several people have been planting trees from the orchard in these neighborhoods. So that's a kind of expansion that we can see. We can see that, you know, the orchard is helping fruit trees sort of proliferate through the neighborhoods in Bloomington, which is sort of remarkable.
I work most closely with partner plantings right now, so in the next 5 years, ideally it would be great to see neighborhood orchards all over Bloomington, which I think we are slowly getting to. And in order to grow in that way, we will need both funding and volunteers.
It feels like everybody who participates has something to share, whether it's, you know, they don't have a lot of time, but they have money to contribute, whether they have orcharding skills or they're willing to learn them. Maybe they know how to build things and they can help with construction at the orchard. There really is a space for everybody's skill set if they have the interest in getting involved.
I think the next 5 years of the orchard are really going to be all about building this idea of community, not so much attached to the acre of space we have, but all of these people planting trees from the free tree giveaways or learning how to care for trees they already had at the orchard workshops, just figuring out how to all come together across the Bloomington community, across the Monroe County community, to share the fruit that starts coming on, to talk about the success of their own fruit trees, and really start feeling rooted in this larger sense of community.
I didn't imagine that it would be this big or this successful 5 years ago when it started. So I feel like it's a matter of who gets involved and what vision they have and how far they want to take it. I could see it spreading virally throughout the region or the country, or just it's a matter of people building together, and working together. And I think they can do it any place. I feel like it's pretty limitless.